Hi everyone, it's Mr. Allen here, and today we're going to go through some binary and why we use it and how to convert it. So let's go on to the next slide and I'll show you more slides. We've got the key objective at the end of all these videos to apply rules to perform binary arithmetic, so addition, subtraction. But in this video today we're focusing on converting to and from binary and why we're doing it. So computers use binary because they can't see numbers and letters. They're just circuits, just kind of circuit boards really. So they can't see, and so all they can see is electricity. And as a result, binary fits really well because we can just represent with ones and zeros, or if your computer, on or off on the electricity. So that's really simple, and that's why we use it. Otherwise, it gets not possible really. So binary uses the base 2 number system. So this is using zeros and ones, and we would usually use the denary or decimal system. So that's 10 digits. So 1 to 9, and then 0. Kind of what we'd expect. So denary goes kind of 1, 10, 100, 1000 on the place value system, whereas we go with binary 1, 2, 4, doubling each time instead of timesing by 10. So how does the conversion look like? Well, you might be able to see the binary number we've got here, and it begins with a 0, so that's quite important in that usually binary numbers computers like to see as probably 8 is how we look at them, and so we leave the kind of leading zeros at the end as well, so that's important to note. So I'll just draw this on for you. So when we convert it, we want to put in that place value grid as you can see on screen, and it goes 1, 2, 4, and it doubles each time. It's important to note that the high numbers go down that end because that's just the way we represent binary, and in the same way that you'd go 1, 10, 1000 as you go left. So what we do is we just look at the number and then we just draw it in. So we go pop a 0 in that one, a 1 there, a 0, a 1, 0 again, another 0, a 1, and then another 0. So it's quite simple. You just pop in the numbers, and then what you do is you look at the place value and you go, alright, I'll just add these up. So you've got 64 and 8 and 2. So you've got 64, 8 and 2. So you add these all up, and what we'll do is I'll just pop it on the calculator so you can see. So we've got 64 and 8 and 2. So we get 74. So you can see it's pretty straightforward, and we just go back. Come on, I'll draw on here for you. So you got 74. So you can see it's pretty straightforward. You just pop in the numbers and then you count the value. So you add them up. So hopefully that's quite straightforward for you. Although it can get potentially more complex, but usually it's pretty straightforward. If you follow the method, it's not too difficult. So I'll go with this. If we go on to the next one, we'll do the same again. I'll get my little pen out. And so we're looking at this number again, so that's pretty straightforward. We go, oh, first number, that's a 0. Second number, that's a 1. And we carry on through, pop in each of the numbers in, pop that last 2 in. So now we've got our numbers in correctly. You'll see that then we'll just go through again, just adding them up. So what I'll do is I'll just, so we've got 128 this time, 64, 16, and 2. You'll have to excuse my terrible writing. I'm doing it with a mouse and it's quite difficult. So we'll flip to the calculator now, clear that off. So 128 plus 64 plus 16 plus 2. So that's 210. So we'll pop back to our PowerPoint, get my little pen up, and it's 210. So you can see this is quite straightforward, going from binary to denary. We just pop it in and add it up. So hopefully it's not too difficult for you. You might be able to see now better, and we'll carry on to the next section. So hopefully that's not too difficult for you. Relatively straightforward, I should hope. And what we'll do is we'll go through some denary to binary conversion. So this is our normal decimal numbers, and we'll convert it in. So this is a little bit more challenging, but again, I'm hoping if you stick with me, you should be able to get through it not too bad. So the important thing when we're converting is to work from left to right. And what we do is we look at each column in turn. Does it fit into the number that we're trying to convert? So for example, 128 is bigger than 54, so that's not going to be very useful, and we don't want that. So we'll pop a 0 in that one. We then look at 64. Again, it's too big, so we'll pop a 0 in there. 32, perfect, so that does fit in, so we'll pop a 1 there. But now what we've got to do is we've got to do 54, take 32. And you'll be able to see it's 22, and then we carry on through. So we look at 16, it does fit into 22, so we'll pop a 1 there. And then we need to take that 16 off, and then that will just be 6. Ooh, 8 is too big for 6 again, so we'll pop a 0, that's fine. Now, 4, perfect, we can pop a 1 there because that is smaller than 6. So we'll take that off again. So we've got 2 left, excellent. So we'll pop a 1 there, take the 2 off, and that leaves 0, that's perfect. So then we can just pop a 0 on that end. And hopefully you can see it's not too difficult, you just got to work from left to right, and if the number above is too big, we pop a 0. If it does fit in, like 32 does into 54, we pop a 1, and we carry on all the way through. So what we'll do now is we will go on to the next slide. Get my little pen up again, and then 75. This time again, we'll cycle through. So I don't know whether you want to have a pause, maybe try this one. There are some more for you to try in a second, but it might be worth pausing. If not, we'll carry on. So 128, bigger than 75, so we can pop a 0 in that one. 64 does fit in 75, so we'll pop a 1. And then the next step, as you remember, we do 75, take 64, which leaves 11. So 32, too big, so we'll pop a 0 in that one. 16, again, too big, so we'll pop a 0 in that one. 8 does fit, so that's good, so we'll pop a 1 there, and we'll take 8 off this 11, which leaves 3. 4, too big, we'll pop a 0. 2 does fit, that's perfect, pop a 1 there. What we'll do is move stuff out of the way, and then just get a pen up again. So then you take that 2 off, leaving 1. And then you can just pop that 1 on there, that's fine. And then you take the 1 off, and you've got 0 left. So that's perfect, you converted that nicely. So hopefully you can see that actually it's not too difficult to convert and going through the motion. So nailing this is really important when you go on to later things like addition and subtraction and maybe onto hex as well. It really helps you've got a solid understanding of binary. And hopefully it will become almost second nature to you. Hopefully that was clear. So what I want you to do now is just have a go at converting it yourself. So grab some paper, calculator and pens and have a look at the following questions. So have a go at these 6. If you get stuck, maybe rewind the video, have a little look, or go and find my example video where I actually go through on pen and paper and draw it out. So what you want to do is to pause the video here and have a look at the questions, and then unpause and I'll show you the answers. So take a pause. And now what we'll do is we'll just flick through the answers. So hopefully you did alright on those. If you're unsure, have a little check through. Sometimes you can miss the ones or not quite add them up right. So double check, see where you went wrong. And then have a go at these next ones. So these are for denary or decimal to binary conversion. So have a go at these 6. Pause the video again if you need to go back and have a look, please do so. And then in a minute I'll come through and show you the answers. So what you do now is take a pause and have a go. So take a pause. Now what I'll do is I'll show you the answers. So if we go through next, again have a look through, make sure that you've done it all correctly, added it correctly. Remember, binary conversions and conversion general additions are all just a process, so you're following it through one thing at a time, so just double check that. If you're unsure, again, find me or review the videos as well. So hopefully you've done alright with those. I mean, you can just make up your own as well if you feel like you need more practice, or if you're happy, feel free to move on to binary addition and subtraction. So these, again, it's using for binary and then applying some addition and subtraction, but it's not too difficult, but make sure you have a really firm understanding of the basics. That's the really important point. Thank you. Remember, again, what we've covered today is your conversions from binary to denary and why computers use binary in the first place. So thank you. Hopefully that was useful, and check out the other videos.